So now we start with the very important topic, congenital anomalies of the heart. Very important. Let us write down the topic, congenital anomalies of the heart. Now this is a very important and very interesting topic. It will be helpful to you in your future endeavors also. So therefore, now in congenital anomalies of the heart, the first congenital anomaly will be dextrocardia. Please note down, these anomalies will be very helpful in your internship period also, when you are going to appear for the pre-PG NEET entrance examination also. So all this can be asked in one mark question answer also. Dextrocardia, first congenital anomaly. What is dextrocardia? When the heart will be positioned in the right side of the chest, right side of the thoracic cavity, and that is because of only one reason. The cardiac loop normally was folding on the left hand side, on the left side of the chest. Instead of folding on the left side of the chest, the cardiac loop will fold on the right side of the chest, on the right side, in the pericardial cavity. So because of the cardiac loop falling on the right side in the pericardial cavity, the heart will regain its abnormal position, abnormal location, that will be on the slightly on the right hand side of the chest. That is called dextrocardia. Second, so dextrocardia is over. Now second. Now this terminology, situs inversus, we have come across in GIT, if you recollect. In GIT I have explained it to you that errors of rotation. Sometimes there are so many errors of rotation, reverse rotation, non-rotation, mal-rotation. Sometimes in reverse rotation of the gut tube, what will happen will be the viscera present in the abdominal cavity will be positioned in abnormal way, in such that they will be located in the opposite halves of their normal position. So as the viscera are transposed in the opposite half, for example ascending colon, it may be present on the left side, sigmoid colon, descending colon and sigmoid may be present on the right side. In the same way, along with situs inversus viscerum, that is situs inversus viscera, along with that there will be the heart which will be also in the right half of the thoracic cavity instead of the left half of the thoracic cavity. So that condition is known as situs inversus. Along with situs inversus viscerum, that is situs inversus viscera, the heart will also be transposed in the opposite direction. So dextrocardia, situs inversus viscera or viscerum, and third, this is also very important, ectopia cordis. Now in ectopia cordis, just like ectopia vesicae, which we have discussed in the anomalies of the urogenital system, this is ectopia cordis. Chest wall will remain open and the heart is exposed in front in the newly born child. This is because of the sternal defect and also the lateral folds which have not fused properly. Remember the folding of the embryo, head fold, tail fold, and the right and the left lateral fold. Sometimes the right and the left lateral folds will not fuse properly, and also there is a defect in the sternal wall, that is in the sternum, which will lead to the condition which will be known as ectopia cordis, in which the newborn child or the children which are born, they will have heart which is exposed in the front through the chest wall. So dextrocardia, situs inversus viscerum, then ectopia cordis, and fourth. Now we come to the fourth anomaly, which is known as common atrioventricular orifice. Very interesting. Common atrioventricular orifice. This is very interesting. Now what will happen in the common atrioventricular orifice? If you recollect, I will just explain it to you. No need to draw this diagram. This is just for your explanation. If you recollect, if these are the subdivisions. So this is the right atrium, this is the left atrium, this is the right ventricle, this is the left ventricle, this is septum primum, this this will be initial stage. If you recollect the initial stage of the development of interatrial septum. Now at that point in the development of interatrial septum, foramen primum, if foramen primum is intact, so here this foramen primum will be intact, that is, it will not close. Patent, it is called patent foramen primum. In this interventricular septum, there will be presence of, if you recollect, interventricular foramen. So if this interventricular foramen also does not close, if it remains patent, what will happen? Then there will be a common, see here, there will be a common atrioventricular canal. Now in this common atrioventricular canal, please note down, in this common atrioventricular canal, if you come down, what will happen will be fusion of tricuspid and bicuspid orifices or valves will take place. Tricuspid. How the tricuspid valve was there? 1, 2 and 3. Here bicuspid 1 and 2. Bicuspid means 2 valves and tricuspid means 3 valves. Now what will happen here will be the septal cusp of tricuspid valve and this is mitral valve, that is bicuspid. Here ventral cusp, they will fuse with each other. Septal cusp of tricuspid, right atrioventricular valve, and ventral cusp of the bicuspid, that is mitral that valve, that is left atrioventricular valve, will fuse with each other. And after fusion, what will happen? They will divide. Question. To the common atrioventricular orifice. This will be common atrioventricular orifice and fusion of all these valves. So there will be 5 valves. 1, this will remain as it is. Then 2, it will also remain as it is. 3, this valve will also remain as it is. Then this will be fused. So 4, this will be 4, and here this will be fused. So this will be 5. This is the anomaly. So therefore, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cusps which will guard the common atrioventricular opening. And this is the anomaly which is known as common atrioventricular orifice. We started from here and we landed up in this space. So here we finish our dextrocardia, situs inversus, then ectopia cordis, common atrioventricular orifice. Now we come on this side, please come on this side, and we come to anomaly number 5. Very important, Fallot's tetralogy. Now this is very much asked in MBBS level. It is asked in first MBBS, it may be asked in second MBBS, it may be asked in final MBBS, it may be asked in the pre-PG NEET entrance examination. This is a very important topic. It is the most important congenital anomaly. It is asked in MCQs and Vivas and also in 1 mark question answer. Fallot's tetralogy, F-A-L-L-O-T-S. What is Fallot's tetralogy? We explain with the help of a diagram. Now if we consider this entire diagram, we will show here, these are the various openings, these are the various chambers, right and left atria, right and left ventricle. Now we show here right ventricular hypertrophy. We want to show here right ventricular hypertrophy. So I will show here that right ventricular wall has hypertrophied. So this is what we show it as right ventricular hypertrophy. Right ventricular hypertrophy. Fallot's tetralogy, it is a combination of 4. Tetralogy 4. So combination of 4 anomalies. First will be right ventricular hypertrophy. Second will be, there will be, I will take a pink color as well as blue color. Let me take pink and blue color both. And also I will take green color. So there will be pulmonary stenosis. Let us take this. Now here, this is what we show, pulmonary stenosis. The pulmonary stenosis, that means the pulmonary trunk is stenosed, narrowed down, very narrow pulmonary trunk. So here I will name this as number 2, pulmonary stenosis. Then third point, I will name it as overriding of aorta, in which the aortic orifice will be shifted more on the right side towards the interventricular septum. So here I will show that there will be overriding of aorta. This is what I want to show. Now remember, this is just an anomaly, so we are showing it in the form of a rough diagram, very rough diagram we are showing. Okay, so therefore here I will show this pulmonary stenosis. Now overriding of the aorta also. So the aorta will be overriding the interventricular septum. So I will name this as third, overriding of aorta, in which the aortic orifice is pushed more on the right side of the interventricular septum. Fourth anomaly will be, here we leave a space, and that space will be known as interventricular septal defect. So therefore this will be the fourth one, that will be known as interventricular septal defect. So in short, in interventricular septal defect, which foramen will remain patent? Interventricular foramen. Combination of these four, right ventricular wall hypertrophy, pulmonary stenosis, overriding of aorta, and interventricular septal defect will lead to the anomaly which will be known as Fallot's tetralogy. Now we are having constriction of time, so next segment coming up.